Hello there, my name is DashUnderscore. Today, we're taking a look at a game from 2012 called First Boxing. So what you're already seeing right now is the tutorial level. And already my first thoughts are, how was this made in Flash? This is a Flash game that has a third-person perspective WASD movement. Usually when I play these games, the fun element comes from the sheer ridiculousness of it. But this one felt genuinely well made. I mean, the visuals aren't anything to write home about, but the gameplay is where the fun's at. So let's go over some gameplay, shall we? There are 10 fighters in this game, each with special abilities and different fighting styles. Like this dude who can push us away with his garlic breath. And this dude who's a stand-up comedian who just keeps dodging our hits and cracking jokes. But you can't exactly win if you're just taking jabs at your opponent. And I was able to dodge most of the puns he threw at me. And we were able to defeat him. So let's go over a fight here. So basically, use WASD to move around the ring. You also use your mouse to dodge, and clicking on the sides will allow you to do uppercuts or hooks for a heavy attack. And putting your mouse bottom middle will allow you to block attacks. This one we're fighting here is called Bazooka. And he was quite difficult. His punches are very quick and seemingly random. Turns out what you were supposed to do is pay attention to the cat above his head, as he tells us the direction of his next attacks. And after figuring that out, we were able to defeat him too. The second to last guy is called Dmitri. It kinda looked like his head was bitten off because of the background, not gonna lie. His punches do hit like a truck, and he takes no damage from our attacks, not our jabs, and not our heavy attacks. The only way to damage him is to wait until he gets to this vulnerable state, where you hit him with a heavy attack, which he won't take damage from, and only then will he take damage from your punches. Yeah, I kinda struggled pretty hard against Dmitri. His punches hit hard even if you're blocking them. But thankfully they're pretty slow and easy to dodge. If you're not stupid like me, that is. Even with this fact, I still got knocked out plenty of times. But nonetheless, after losing over 10 times, we were finally able to knock him out once. And even then, it was a pretty close fight. With how much he dozed off during these fights though, I'm honestly surprised he only lost twice. So now we get to the boss battle. I thought in my mind, it definitely can't get much harder than Dmitri, right? Psychobot was described as a human killing machine who can collapse buildings with one punch. So imagine my surprise when I didn't die in one hit. I thought they would put in an unbeatable opponent, and honestly, they kinda did. I was very happy when I was able to land a hook on him, and that was the end of that. He hits just as hard as Dmitri, faster, and he has no vulnerable state. Not only that, my punches seem to not affect him at all. Not that I could even land any of them. After all, he can land his punches harder and faster than I can do a hook. And so I lost many, many times. During all of this is when I finally noticed there was a stat system in this game for footwork and strength. But stubborn I was convinced that I need nothing but my expertise to defeat this robo. At first it did seem like an impossible task, until I discovered a weakness. Turns out the trash can with abs is pretty vulnerable to jabs after punching. So soon after discovering this, I started on a different strategy, which is just to block the punches I can't dodge and landing as many jabs as I could in between. This strategy turns out to be quite effective, but turns out trading blow for blow against a robot made entirely out of metal was not the smartest idea, as one good punch is really all it takes to turn the odds into his favor. And so, after many hours of gameplay, with plenty of close calls, and many humiliating defeats, I finally decided it was time to go to the practice room. And soon enough, I had level 8 punch and was level 3 in footwork, and returned to the ring once again. Only to get destroyed again. But I knew, as long as I keep practicing, I can succeed. And after leveling up my footwork to 4 and maxing out my strength, it was time. Here I kept punching one side only to remind myself where he punched last. This really helped me to predict where his next punch was gonna come from. And just like that, after many hours of struggle, victory was finally mine. And victory never felt so sweet. Overall, I'm gonna give this game a B. It got pretty challenging without being unfair or frustrating. One thing I don't like is how the dodging can feel a bit inconsistent sometimes. But I still very much enjoyed this game. It's still kinda hard for me to believe this game was made in Flash in 2012. But yeah. So, what did you think about this game? Let me know what other games you want to see. If you want to try the game for yourself, maybe try your hands at defeating Psychobot. I'll leave the link of where I played it down in there in the description. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and let me know what you like or dislike about this video. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Sincerely, DashUnderscore.